When life throws you a curveball, how are you going to handle adversity? Welcome to the Fearless Mindset Podcast, where you're about to go on a journey as I interview security, business, and entertainment leaders on what it takes to stay fearless. I'm your host, Mark Ludlow, and enjoy today's episode. Because right now, as you guys come back to the States, everything's like super inflated right now. It's stupid how much things are costing. And the middle class is getting crushed. Everybody I talk to, they can't make it. They can't even make it through the month. A lot of people, I can't even afford to put gas in my tank right now. Like, whoa. So the whole economy has shifted. Inflation's kicking in. So what are your guys' advice to those businesses that need to get the word out there, but they're really struggling out there to get their message out there? With any thoughts for marketing and AI and all that stuff?
Yeah, I think you have to highly utilize all the tools, because then that could save you some, pinch you some payroll here and there, not necessarily like removing people, right? But utilize a tool that could get you ahead against your competitor and really like upgrading your mindset, because the game that you're playing before 2024, it's gonna change in a whole new world, as in this AI world, right? So be very open about it. Because a lot of entrepreneurs still very hesitant about AI. Like, what is this? It's gonna take over my job or my people's job or my business. Like, we just shrug it like it's not a big deal, but it is a goddamn big deal that we cannot afford to not pay attention.
Yeah, something that we did recently is, and I don't think they see these tools as more of an analytics piece. So we took our biggest competitors and we did a lot of analysis. And when I say analysis, all we did was take screenshots, images, videos, written information, and we just added it into ChatGPT and told it to analyze it. And we used some other AI tools, just analyze this information and tell me, what is my competitor doing that I'm not doing? Or recreate what my competitor is doing when it comes to an ad, maybe, or like we did this with YouTube. We looked at our biggest YouTube competitor and said, we recreate exactly what they did to get to where they are. And it's incredible what these tools can do, and to give you back a lot of your time and to do a lot of the work for you. But I think what people are doing is they're trying to reinvent the wheel. They're trying to come up with new creative ways, when sometimes you just have to do what's working. But you just need to figure out what that is. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's as simple as like sending different types of lead generation, or going on LinkedIn and connecting with the right people, and then maybe giving some sort of value to them. I mean, there's simple ways that we can do things, where I think sometimes we try and overcomplicate.
Yeah, overcomplicate, especially in this industry when you're looking at something you really don't understand, but you have to get somewhere. You get from point A to point B. But between point A to point B, you're like, oh, crap, what do I do now? And taking those first two steps, I think a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, like, I got a tight budget. I can't even afford to do this. Like, for my example, running a podcast security company, I'm like, do I start a new webpage or create bigger SEOs? And there's a zillion questions. It's almost like you have to create your own empire to push that information out and that content out. Like you said, Dan, everybody's pushing out content right now. You got Instagram, you got TikTok, you got Twitter, you got how many platforms? It's like information overload, and you just kind of check out.
Yeah, that's why I think everyone needs these tools. Like, we were just talking with Opus yesterday. Opus can do all of your video editing in 5 minutes and put it across every single platform. So let's say 15 minutes of your time, you could have all of your content done for the next few days. I mean, it's incredible. Like, these tools, the writing, like, tells you exactly what to post, what to say. Like, I'm talking like these people don't get it. And this is like $15 a month.
Yeah. Share you the link. Yeah, we'll share you the link, Mark, because we did a masterclass yesterday from the Global AI Council. I use it all the time. Like, this content, now we're about 40 minutes, and then it would chop the content in 40 different videos, and then I'll just schedule it to LinkedIn, TikTok. I don't have to do anything.
And here's the thing too. I heard the reel. You had like 3 seconds to get someone's attention now. It's down to 2 seconds, I think I've heard. Is that what you guys have been hearing too?
Yeah. I mean, like, you're like, you got to be very funny and interesting.
That's the great thing with this software though, Mark, is the software tells you with a score what's going to be the most viral to your audience and what's going to be the least. And it even tells you ways to make the video better. Like, that's what I mean. Like, this stuff is basically doing our jobs for us, giving us the ability to give us our time. Who knows? Maybe in the future, we only work 2 days a week. And the other 5 days a week, we're just having fun, enjoying, because the tool is doing everything for us.
Right. Wow. That's crazy. Because you got to be ahead of technology and know what the trends are to be competitive. Yeah. Otherwise, you get killed.
You got to ask the software what to do. Half the time, I just ask software what to do, and it tells me what to do. Like, I don't even want to think with my brain anymore. Like, my brain hurts. It's too much in my mind. I'll just ask the software, what are you seeing out there that's working? And what should I do for this? What's my new idea? What's the name of this? What's that? You know what I mean? Like, it's incredible what these tools can do. And we're just scratching the surface, right? Like, in a year from now, it'll be 100 times better.
Yeah.
I know I invested in Microsoft. I knew they're putting money into AI, like serious money. I'm like, oh, so my stock just went up, but Microsoft, Amazon's into it. And I'm sure there's other companies are heavily into it.
Nvidia is great.
Oh yeah, their stock's outrageous, crazy. But are you guys sponsored by anybody? Are you guys self-sponsored now?
No, we're not sponsored by anyone. We're just promoting the nonprofit, the Global AI Council, and that's,
Is that a nonprofit? That's officially a nonprofit, right?
It's a nonprofit. We're laying the groundwork. We have a strong presence in the Philippines, building a team in Africa. We have a team in Dubai. We have a team in Canada and Malta, Europe. And so we are really excited about what's going on, and very clear. Our message, just give free education for everyone about AI.
Oh, I almost forgot to mention, yours truly is going to be published in the Dubai Times here in a few weeks.
Wow, congratulations.
The Dubai Economic Forum. So that we've got a piece coming out on that. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out.
Very cool. I think you should speak on TEDx, Mark.
What's that?
I think you should speak on TEDx. That really helps me a lot, because once you put in there that you're a speaker in TEDx, it just builds instant credibility as well.
Just like that, by doing it. Great. Now, you get to do that for what, an hour talking nonstop?
18 minutes, no more than 18 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like an hour nonstop talking.
Average is like 10 or 12 minutes.
That's
nothing above 18 minutes.
Yeah, you want to be short.
But that's actually very long for you to talk. It has to be like sharing your one big idea in 18 minutes is actually very difficult. Rather than an hour, because you have to make sure it's concise, that your idea lands. It's actually harder to a lot of people.
And you did your talk on AI, right?
I did talk about it twice.
Wow.
The first thing was more the immersive technology in a Web3. And then, no, the second one is more about my journey.
Your journey. Okay, so you did it twice. Wow. That helped elevated you in the world stage, speaking stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's crazy how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, you've had a TED Talk too, haven't you?
Yeah, I did it when it was virtual only during COVID, though. So, but I have my official like in-person one coming up this year later. But
really?
A bunch of clients. We just helped 3 clients get some. We have about 5 clients coming up here in the next few months. So it's like Kate said, brands look for that. We had brands seek out people, and they look at your TEDx. I was talking to someone yesterday, like she was telling me her TEDx she did in 2013 was like the catapult for her entire life. Wow. So it is something that's held highly regarded across the world. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. But I think the whole speaking thing it's an important piece now, right? Being in front of people, like you mentioned about credibility. When you're speaking in front of people, it creates a lot of credibility for you and trust. And we have a few clients, like one, they built their entire business. They have over 600 employees. They built their entire business in 2 years by speaking. That was it. And small group speaking, not big speaking, like speaking to people, like groups of 50 people, 60 people, 30 people, where like, they close half the people will close after they hear them speak. So it's so powerful.
Yeah. And I think like when I was talking about the Web3 world in 2022, when I did my TEDx, that actually got me a deal, as a speaking deal for American Express, because they need a speaker that can talk about Web3 and business. So right there, the visibility of putting it out there, doing a different kind of avenue really helps.
So American Express was the sponsor of that event, and they obviously endorsed you. Is that how that worked?
So they're looking for a speaker that can talk about blockchain and Web3 in the business world. So they were able to search and found me through TEDx and other things that I'm putting out there in the universe. So it really helps.
Wow, I saw your advertisement in I think a post about that on American Express. Like, holy cow, that's like a big deal. Like, okay, wow, watch Kate and Dan rock and roll over there.
Hey, it's a very good pay for 45 minutes of my time. So that was really good.
What can you give us the audience an estimate what that looks like in pay? Like 10 grand, 15 grand?
That range, yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
You know how it is, Mark. Like, you got to put yourself out there, whether it's your podcast, social, like whatever it is, you got to find something that really fits you and your personality. And because we really don't do business with people that we don't know anymore. Like, we don't buy things from people. Like, it's odd almost when you see someone that has like no presence anywhere. But I think also it helps you understand who they are. So you don't have to then even have like, if I watch your podcast and I don't feel like I vibe with you, I can then know that maybe doing business with each other is not great. But maybe I watch your podcast and I'm like, I'm in love with Mark. I need to contact him because we are on the same wavelength and I want to buy his product service. I want to do business with him. You know what I mean? It's a great way to also filter out people, because you don't want to work with someone that's, how you can have a disaster experience if you're just not on the same wavelength.
Absolutely. That's funny you mentioned that, because when I make the Fearless Mindset Media Group, we're going to start doing the Fearless Mindset Mixers. Not just going to be security, but it's going to be different businesses, different industries. I'm going to do that deliberately. That way, it'll give people a platform. We'll do podcasts, in live person podcasts. That's the vision of it. And you guys kind of gave me that idea for what you're doing over at CNN. I'm like, how can you change this up with a podcast, make its own platform? So we're right now creating a personal website for me, personal branding, probably use a link tree for the links and all that. And then who knows what we're going to do, but it's in the process of being developed right now. So you guys have given me a lot of inspiration for that, just to get out and speak, give the message. And now here's a question for the podcast listeners out there that have podcasts. Are podcasts still a critical part of marketing yourself and your business, or is that kind of changing with the trends?
I think it still is a thing. I didn't have the data, but from what I'm seeing, from hearing from thought leaders in the marketing world, it is actually very crucial for you to have your podcast. And if you think about it, this podcast of yours, Mark, using some tools, AI tools, you can shop it for 40 different content. Like, sure. It's very helpful, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
3 seconds and you 3 seconds of attention span. So you need to have a lot. So,
right.
Yeah,
spin it, cook it.
I think you know how it is, Mark. Like, I think a lot of times people look at podcasting, because we have a few podcasts. I think people look at it as the perspective of sponsorship, right? Like, it's really hard to get sponsors on podcasts. Like, you have to have a significant show. The sponsorship is not normally very good. Where I think you get the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to podcasting. And I'm probably, speaking to the choir. I think you already probably know this, but you could have your potential guest, you could have your potential buyers from whatever your product or service on as a guest. You build relationship with them, right? You're giving them value, and then they're going to be open to hearing. We have so many clients that we've gotten from being on the podcast, and you open up, like you build such a great relationship when you're talking to someone like this format. So I think number one, you can get clients. Also, maybe you just need to get to the decision makers well, what's a good way, or whatever it is in your business, or whatever, like you need a partnership deal, like there's certain things you need to get to certain people, and it can be very hard to get to that person. If you were to tell them, hey, I want to have you on my podcast, and you're not talking about selling them anything, most likely they're going to say yes, versus you trying to set up a meeting to sell them something or to do something that they're probably a million people are reaching out to them. So I think there's different ways that you can leverage your show without having to worry about like sponsorship and having to make money directly from it.
I think you're right, Dan, because indirectly is you create that relationship of trust. If you months later you get a call, hey, I need this. Boom. Business is done. That's simple. I think you're right, though. So many people, well, I need to get that sponsor. They get that sponsor. I need to get more views. But if you focus your energy in the right way, organically, people will see your sincerity. And they'll see that you're not trying to rip them off. And I think that's what you play the long game. Again, it goes back to that long game strategy. And that's the strategy I've always worked on this podcast is play the long game, get to know people, build that trust rapport. Business will come later. I think people are so in that instant gratification culture, and they get hooked into that. And they follow the big names like, you have Joe Rogan, making whatever he's making a year from Spotify, but that's the top 0.001%.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And you guys have how many podcasts now? 2?
Yeah, so we have 3 TV shows, 1 audio show.
Whoa.
We support a few other audio shows though.
And what's the name of your shows?
Yeah, Founders Story is our most popular. That's when we started 4 years ago, back in 2020. Wrote it through. We even had it on Clubhouse Live. Like that's the same one we've been doing. We're a few hundred into that. We have Health Corner, which is health related topics, and then we have Top Leaders, which is leadership focused.
Okay. So audience, go check those out, and they're online, right, on the podcast platforms.
Yep.
They have the TV show. It's on CNN Philippines. That's still in the Philippines?
Yeah. So no, we're not doing the show in the Philippines anymore because that CNN is no longer in the Philippines. So that's they pulled out. It's media. It's hard. Media companies is really, really hard. But no, so now we're on Fox 5 in San Diego, and then we're on Pix 11 in New York City, which is the biggest station in New York City. So you can check it out there.
Okay. So that's why you guys are back in somewhere in the States somewhere, huh?
We're in Orange County. And
Orange County.
Our son is graduating next month as well. So
okay.
Good to be back.
So how long are you guys going to be temporarily in Southern California for a while, or are you going to be moving around a little bit?
I'm going to be moving around. I'm actually flying to Cape Town in 12 days.
Oh, mercy.
So traveling a lot, but like we're kind of living in a nomadic life. It's just
Nomads.
And hard.
It is hard. They're going to South Africa, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And South Africa is becoming a major metropolitan city, right? It's just growing with everything going on, investments and everything.
It's huge. It's huge, and the food is good. The view is amazing. I'm actually there filming for a student entrepreneurs. It's a show.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
how about you, Dan? What are you doing too? You're on the Nomad private jet too?
I'm waiting for Mark to send me over his private jet. Where's Mark's jet? That's what I need.
I need my jet is JSX is my private jet. That's my thing I can afford.
JSX is awesome.
I love JSX.
It's amazing. I wish there was more places they travel to, but overall, it's pretty amazing.
That's my probably favorite airline. I can't fly. I hate flying commercial. I just hate it. After one JSX ride, I'm like, I'm done. I'm in ruin for life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope we had this client, and what they're doing is they're building these 2-person airplanes that can travel. They're launching this year in LA, so you can fly like short term, and then their goal is going to be long term. But it's pretty crazy. It fits right into your garage. But it's legit launching this year in LA, and you can fly from your house over traffic, and it's already approved. It's kind of crazy. So one day, Mark, we'll all have really affordable private jets.
I love it. Cheaper than Tesla, I hope.
Probably. I like the truck, though. I've seen the truck out and about. That's cool.
One can only dream, right? The time machine is the ultimate jet. But I'm on YouTube quite a bit watching these guys' private jets and how long it takes to get from LA to New York, about 2 hours in the jet. I'm like, oh. And you have to be at 6 hours in, a commercial airline and hope to God the window doesn't pop out or a screw doesn't pop out.
Yeah.
Or you land on that one big, huge jet that landed on LAX and it bounced. You see that video? It bounced a couple times. Like, there's probably a few people at the hospital, but just traveling is not really fun anymore for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's true.
What is your recommended airline that you guys like to fly the most?
It really depends. I mean, I have a few favorite. I actually go for like what's memorable to me is a good food, like Turkish airline. They have the best kebab. Dan, do you remember
They
that?
do.
Oh my gosh.
It's really good.
The best lamb I've ever had. You know what? We just flew United, and United surprisingly had like the best curry. Was that beef curry chicken?
Yeah, it was like a chicken curry. At the end of the day, Mark, you all know everyone's so uptight. People go crazy in a plane. So, hey, if I have good food, then I'm happy. So,
Another drink, miss? Another drink?
Exactly.
Happy juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, times have changed for sure. Well, glad you guys are back. And yeah, glad you hit me up, Kate. I'm like, oh, yeah, let's do it. I have some time. Let's knock it out.
Thank you for having us on today.
Having us.
Finally had you guys on. We've been talking for, I don't know, a while. I know you guys are jet lagged. You just got home, right? You just landed?
Yeah, for sure.
So you're still on the Philippine time? And you're like,
Yeah, I was up at 12 midnight all the way to 3 a.m. And so like, hey, I'm awake. Let's do it.
Do you guys feel like hungover from jet lag?
It's actually a lot better now. I think the trick is like you walk and get some sun. It seems to be very helpful and really fight through it, like to be up all the way to the evening. But I made a mistake yesterday. I said, I'm going to take a nap without putting my alarm. And I slept from 5 p.m. all the way to 12. It's like, holy crap, I'm awake all night after that.
Yeah, I saw your son driving you in that nice luxury car on Instagram. Like, oh, they must be in town.
He's learning how to drive. He's going to get his test this Thursday. So I'm very excited.
Nice. So you guys going to have some downtime while you're in OC, go to the beach, kind of get some good food. And
yeah, seeing friends. And it's just nice to be back.
Yeah, I'm sure the tribe will love to see you guys make your rounds and all that.
Yeah.
You're heading to Africa. What else do you have scheduled for the summer?
We kind of tried to make it very open because, our son is going to college. So we want to spend time with the family. I mean, we have a lot of things scheduled. We have a conference that we're supposed to be in June in the Philippines. It's a gaming conference, but I don't think we can make it. I know I have a few lineup. I'm going to be speaking in Vegas and London and some Hungary. So plan out for the rest of the year, but I want to lie low and keep summer just family this time.
Smart. Conserve your energy. That's what I'm doing. Conserving my energy. I used to travel more than I am now. Like,
yeah.
Conserve your energy. As you get older, you're like, what? It just hurts more.
Yeah. Even though you didn't work out, you feel like you work out. It's like
you feel like you work out.
Yeah.
When I don't work out, I feel like when I work out, I don't feel like I worked out. But when I don't work out, I feel like I worked out. It's like your muscles become like mush if you don't use them much faster.
They become mushy like the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like now I was like, well, should I drive my car? How much a rental car? As you guys see, inflation in the US is stupid. It's just out of control. To rent a car is like $80 a day sometimes. Like, what the heck?
It used to be 30 and 20, right?
Yeah, we used to be. Yeah.
Wow.
Now I look at the numbers, I go on Priceline, I'll do my calculations. Like, I might as well just drive my own car.
Yeah.
Get a flight. That's $1,000. I'm like, forget it. I'm just drive my own car.
And just eating out is so goddamn expensive.
Have you noticed?
Yeah. I mean, the last time I was here in November, I went to a grocery store. Like, what the heck? I barely have anything.
It's stupid. inflation, the dollar is kind of worthless right now.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine got a burrito in San Francisco, Chipotle, cost him $20.
Wow.
I'm like, wow.
Gold flakes?
What's that?
Gold flakes on the burrito or no?
Not even.
Maybe one slice of chicken. It's crazy how things have changed. Well, if people want to find you guys, where do they find you on social media?
Yeah, I'm active on LinkedIn and Instagram, or go to my website, katehancock.com, for nonprofits, globalcouncil.ai.
There you go. And you, Dan?
Yeah, so if you go to same LinkedIn, I'm super active. Daniel Robbins, Robbins, or D Robbins on Instagram.
And your company name? IBH.
IBHmedia.co. Yeah, IBHmedia.co will get you everywhere.
I love it. IBH Media. As a disclosure, I've worked with Dan and Kate on some media project too in the past, and got a lot of publicity on it. So thanks for that help on that project we did a few years ago. And and if you guys want, that will be I'll have my team put that in the podcast notes so you guys can find it, the audience. So you can reach out to them directly if you have need for media coverage and all that. I'm sure will be many people on LinkedIn that see this, and we're on all the podcast platforms. So give us a rating on that. And then on YouTube, all our links are on YouTube now. I hyperlinked everything. So give us a thumbs up, hit that bell button, make it ring, and make some comments for the algorithm. That helps the algorithms too. So thanks, folks, for joining us for this podcast episode. We're going to splice this up probably in 2 episodes. Go ahead, Kate. What's that?
Thank you. No, thank you for having us.